What's going on, folks? Welcome back to this cloudy day today. So today we're gonna be changing the brake pads for my 2011 STI. So originally I bought this car in 2018, and I told myself I was gonna be doing the brake pads sooner than later when I bought the car. But it's been almost 4 years now. I'm finally getting to the brake pads. Again, I haven't put in too many kilometers in this car since I got this. So I think I got this when the kilometer on the dash was 132. And I just got the full build done when the kilometer was around 135-ish or 137. Yes, ever since I haven't put in too many kilometers on this car. It's strictly been my weekend vehicle. Other than that, I haven't taken too well care of it. I mean, I haven't taken too, I haven't done too much in terms of aesthetics for this vehicle. As you can see, there's a lot of scratches and stuff like that on the bumpers and whatnot. Yeah, it's just like a daily. I treated this as a daily driven car, even though it's actually not been a daily driven car. So so today we're finally getting to the brake pads, and let's take a look. Let's see how it goes. I'm starting off with the rear rear driver side. I have the tire off. I just a few bolts. Make sure you jack up your car properly, and I'll show you guys how to get the brakes off and brake pads off. So the brake pads for this car, this is a dual piston caliper. So you have a piston right over here, and you have a piston right on the back end, and there's obviously two brake pads clamping the rotor down. So the way to take this off is there's two retaining clips. There's one retaining clip right over here that needs to come off. There's another retaining clip that needs to come off as well. Let's see if it focuses. This needs to come off. So obviously there's two retaining clips, and then there's two pins that also need to come off. So one pin right over there, another right over there. Then there's this clip, this clip just to make sure the brake pads are in position and stuff like that. So this also needs to come off after those two, once these pins are off, and you can just slide off the brake pads. So yeah, technically this isn't a tough job. This is just one of those basic works that needs to be done, basic maintenance that needs to be done once in a while. So yeah, for this car, again, the caliper doesn't need to come off, and eventually I'm going to get to replacing the rotors, but just for today I'm just going to be replacing the brake pads. So the brake pads that I have are these Hawk pads. Here's the stock numbers for these. I got these a really long while back. It's just been sitting in my garage for a while. So yeah, I'm just gonna be putting these on. Here's a set for the rear. Here's a set for the fronts. All right, I'll update you guys in a bit. So I took the retaining pieces off. So here's the clips. Here are the clips. Here's the two slide pins, and here's a bracket that holds everything in place. So right now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking and trying to wiggle this, push the piston from the caliper in a bit. So I'm just grabbing a plier and just pushing this in, so it's going to be easier for me to slide out in a bit when I do take this off. So just wiggle it around a bit, and make sure the piston goes in just a tiny bit. So also another thing you might want to do is once you're using a plier to push the pistons in, this could go for any vehicle, you should be taking the reservoir cap off. So yeah, let me just do that, take the cap off, and then let me try pushing this out a bit, and this brake pads should slide out. very easily. All right folks, so the brake pads are out. As you can see, the brake pads go in over here, one over here, one over here. So these are the two pistons that you have to push in before you install the new pads, because obviously the new pads are thicker than the older ones, so it's not gonna fit in as properly. It's not gonna slide in if the pistons are recessed. So you have to push these in. And I just want to also point out, so the new pads, the old pads are out. They're not in horrible shape. They still got plenty of meat left. Just want to compare. So as you can see, so comparing a new pad to old pad, I would say about 50% of its pad, you still have 50% of pad material left compared to new and old. So yeah, also another thing, I took off these backing plates from the back end of the old pads. So I'm also going to be reinstalling these back on the new ones. So yeah, so again, I'm just going to be pushing the piston back in, installing the new pads, and we should be done for one of the corners. Okay. So I also wanted to point out, for the slide pins, I did use a bristle brush just to clean it up a bit. Here's a brush, obviously. Just running through the, this is the brake pads are going to be sliding on these. So just give it a nice brush, and then you can also put some anti-seize right over here. You can also put some anti-seize on these, so they never get stuck with the pads. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing that and then reinstalling. So I have the pads back in. I also did put some anti-seize on the contact points so they don't bind or anything like that. So yeah, let me put these back in. Let me put the bracket in, and then let me put the pins back in, and then we should be done with one corner. All right folks, so we're all done with the brake pad install. Again, this is for the driver rear side. The pins are in, the lock pin, there's a lock clip, these E-clips, I guess you can call these. E-clips are back in. Everything that needed to be lubed up is lubed up with some anti-seize. And yeah, overall pretty easy. And yeah, I'll catch you for the other side. Alright folks, so this is the front passenger tire right now. We're just doing the front passenger brake pads right now. As you can, we already did the rear too. The only difference between the rears and the fronts are 4-piston calipers, and the rears are 2 pistons. So obviously 1, 2, 1, 2. You're gonna have 2 on each side, inside and out. So that makes 4 pistons. The procedure is still the same. I'm gonna take the clip off over here, and then I'm gonna push the slide pins out, push the bracket out, get the bracket out, slide the pads out, and just repeat for the install. So yeah, here we go. Alright guys, so we finally got the brake job done for this car. Again, it's just the brake pads, not the rotors. Might do the rotors at some other time. Again, the rotors didn't look too bad. So yeah, again, just want to make a point clear, like since you open the reservoir cap, make sure you close the reservoir cap after you're done the service, and make sure the fluid level is at max. If it needs to be topped up, or if it needs to be drained a bit, just make sure that gets done. So yeah, let me just go for a drive, check if everything's fine. Everything should be fine, but still, I'm just gonna go for a drive, get some kilometers in this car. Haven't driven it for a while. So yeah, if there's anything else that comes up in this vehicle, in this car, I'll be sure to update you guys. Yeah, other than that, I'll see you soon. Easy.